Hey guys, Will here with MediaPlace, and in this video we're going to take an in-depth look at how the Slides tab works inside of MediaPlace. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive in and take a look. Alright, so if I go and navigate to my Slides tab here, you'll see that I'm prompted with a box that wants me to add images. Alright, so what I can do is let's go ahead and select this, and it's going to open up a dialog box, and it's going to prompt me to navigate to wherever it is the pictures I have in MediaPlace is located, right? So what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and select all of these photos here, maybe go this one and this last one here. And then this kind of pink confirm selected dialog box here, you can select that and it will import in the images that you have selected. All right, now, so right off the bat, if I press play at the top here, it will play through the slideshow and it will have the kind of already pre-automated transitions that go, as well as the text that flies in there too. All right, now here's where it gets fun because you can customize all of these and make it your own. All right, so at the top here is your play and stop button here, and then I can of course move my cursor to navigate through the timeline there. I can then jump forward to the end and then go back to the beginning here with these two buttons here on the left and right of the play button. And then of course I've got my edit slide here, which is where if I click in the edit mode, I can then come over here and adjust my text if I need to, which we'll get to in a second. And then I can also add more images as well as adjust transitions. So let's go ahead and exit this mode here and let's get started. All right, so first up, what I want to do is let's go over the right side here. So right now I'm in the slide view, and then this is the settings view. All right, so what we can do is we can save as an MP4 and MOV as a WebM file. We can adjust the quality, right? So if I need this to be compressed a little bit, maybe I'm going to send this out to a client. It doesn't need to be high res yet. I can give them a low res version just for transfer purposes, right? I can then change the frame rate, so I can go 60 frames a second or 30 frames per second. And then I can choose my canvas size. So do I want this to be 1080? Do I want this to be 4K? Am I setting this to social media? Do I want this to be square? Do I want it to be vertical? I have a lot of options built into MediaPlace that allow me to do that for me, right? So let's just keep it 1080 for now. If I had a transparent background, I could adjust the background, right? So there's a little info button here, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you visible only if you add images with transparency, right? So if I have an image that I have cut out, then I could then, and I didn't have a background for it, I could put a background in there by clicking on the color box and choosing a color background for that. So super cool option though that it's there. All right, and then I can select music and add that music to my slideshow, right? So let's go ahead and select some music here. And I've got one track in here under my music tab here, and let's go ahead and select that. And then it's gonna add that to it. All right, so then it gives me some options though, right? So I can adjust the volume. I can choose how many seconds I want that to fade in. Maybe I just want a 3-second fade in, and then a 5-second fade out works. And then if the music is shorter than the actual amount of pictures that you have, you can have it set to loop, which is an awesome feature. And then if not, you can just have it fade out, right? So I'm gonna leave it unchecked because I think my track is longer than that. And then let's go over to the slide page now. So I'm gonna go over and navigate over here to slide. And so now here is where I can set all the settings for my specific slides for each image, right? So with the duration, I want this one to be 5 seconds, or maybe I want it to be 3, right? You can set that there. Now your effect is when that image appears, how does it come in? This one right now is zooming in. So if I pull the cursor back so you can see right now it's zooming in, right? Now maybe if I click on zoom in over here on the effect, I can hover over each one and it'll give me a different effect, right? So if I want it panning, do I want it coming up? Maybe I want it to zoom out a little bit instead, right? So I can do that. So now it'll do this, right? So you can get real specific, kind of give it some customization so it's not so stagnant, right? And then from there, you can choose your text color, right? Your background color. Right now I've got it this black, which I'm gonna leave. And then my text color is white, but you do have the options to change both of those by clicking on the color tab there, right? So super useful and super efficient. All right, next you can change the text. So I can type in my text there. Well, let's just call this a horse, right? That's what it is. And then we can do some text padding, right? So we can bring in our box a little bit if we need to, just to match the height of our text there. And then our enter effects, right? So how do we want this text to come in on screen, and how do we want it to leave? So right now it's coming in from the right in, and then it's disappearing from the right out, right? But maybe I don't want that. You know, I can click here and you have a lot of options. You can have it fade in, right? Just like that. You can have it come in from the top in, right? You can have it fly. There's a lot of different options in here that you can choose from. You can have it zoom in. So that's pretty cool. And then maybe you want it to zoom out. Right, so there's different ways to go about it. So that's how you can kind of see and visualize what kind of animated text you want to come in on screen, right? So really cool features that you can do. You can also apply these settings to all slides if you just wanted like a stock blanket template that you were using. You can also, if you go down here you can select the next image and then go in there and change its settings for that specific slide as well. Now the transitions that happen in between, right? So in between like this image and that one, I've got this little transition happening. Maybe I don't want that transition, right? So if I come down to the bottom here, I've got the layout of all my images. If I select the transition button here, it opens up my transitions. Now I can hover over these and it'll show me what they look like, right? So I can go this arrow horizontal, this bounce down, or side warps. There's a lot of different stuff. And if you do like or happen to use a lot of these transitions, then and they're very, you use them very frequently, you can heart them, right? So maybe I use this drop down one and it's color dissolve a lot. Then it will show you, if you show all your favorites, you can see those are the two I selected. So you can quickly narrow down your favorite ones that you choose all the time, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and uncheck that so I can see everything. And just to show you, maybe let's go ahead and add this Dreamy Days to this one here. And let's go back here and select this one. And let's go ahead and do the spiral, right? Just to kind of show you how it is. And again, if I wanted all my transitions to be the same, I could apply to all slides and that would apply that one transition I have selected to all of my slides, right? So then I wouldn't have to worry about it. But now if I play this back, you'll see that if I play here, it goes from the horse to the little mountain ridge here, and then you can see the transitions that happens, and then it will go back to that one, and there we go. Right, so that's a quick way to add transitions to either per slide or blanket them across all the slides, right? And then if you want to add more images, you can easily do that. Maybe you need to extend your slideshow a little bit. Just go ahead and click on Add Images there. It'll bring up a dialog box where you can navigate to where you have your images stored, or if you need to import in some more, you can do that as well. All right, and then select what you want, and then it'll ask you to confirm your selection and add those additional pictures, right? So really cool and fast and efficient way to create really quick slideshows inside of MediaPlace. And then maybe you want to show a client, you're trying to prepare them for something, you want to build them a little template, a little presentation of something you're working on. This is a great way to get that out really quick. All right, so once you've got all these things done, you can go back over to settings over here and make sure you have everything that you want selected, right? Do you want this to be an MP4 or an MOV, right? Choose your quality, choose your frame rate, make sure you've chosen the right resolution. And then once you've got everything set, you can then go ahead and name it, right? So we're gonna call this first slideshow, and then we're just gonna save it right here. And so then it's rendering out the slideshow, and it will then save it in our library for us to access and send out. Maybe you wanna export out and then send it to a client so they can use, all right? All right, so now it's done, I can go over here and navigate to my library, and I'm ready to proceed, and you will see that our slideshow has been generated for us, and here it is right here. And if I double click on it, I can then click play and play back the slideshow that we just created with our text, effects, and transitions all embedded into this file, right? So super quick and efficient way to utilize slideshows inside of MediaPlace. All right, stay tuned for more future tutorials, and as always, keep creating.